Have you ever asked yourself, what can I do differently that I didn't do last year to help me have the best year ever? Have you ever thought about what's the secret to getting the results that you hear other people talk about? Or maybe you've sat down and asked yourself, what's hindering me from going to the next level in my life? Well, in this video today, I want to share something that I've done privately, and I've had some conversations with some other high performers, and I want to share with you 3 things that I encourage you to implement to your life so you can have a successful year. Welcome to the Kantis Simmons Show. Happy New Year. I'm Kantis Simmons, and I believe and I declare this will be your best school year ever. If you believe that, if you can proclaim that for this year, drop that in the chat box. This will be my best school year ever. Now, of course, here at the Kantis Simmons Show, you know I'm all about school success and succeeding in life, right? Getting better grades, getting into college, getting on scholarships, doing great in your career. And I want to share 3 things with you today that has changed my life, and I believe it's going to change your life. Also, while you're here, I want to give you access, just because you're here, a free copy of my best-selling books. If you go to, I think it's here, scholarshipsecretsbook.com. Just because you're watching this video, we'd love to give you a copy of my best-selling book. Just go to scholarshipsecretsbook.com. It's all about the roadmap to locate, land, and lock down college scholarships. I'll send you a free book. Just take care of the shipping and handling. And also, if you would love to get a copy of my academic success book, Play Your A Game, go to playyouragainbook.com. It's all about how to stay motivated, how to remain focused, and succeed in school and life. And I want to make sure you get access to either one of those books that you want, or even both of them. Just go to playyouragainbook.com or go over to scholarshipsecretsbook.com. So I want to share something with you that I don't talk about publicly a lot in videos, but I wanted to share some things that I've been thinking about, meditating on, pondering. And I believe if you understand these 3 things, it will help you in your life. Maybe you're a student, it'll help you in your life. Maybe you're an educator, it will help you in your life. Maybe you're a parent, maybe you're in college, maybe you're in your career, maybe you stumbled on this video, and these 3 things will absolutely change your life. So I'm a Christian, and I believe in the Bible, and the Bible is full of amazing stories. But one of the things that the Bible is awesome with are principles. There are principles in the Bible that have, they've been tested through all of time. And I want to share 3 principles with you from the Bible. And let's talk about them. Look at how we can apply these to our life. All right, so the first scripture is Habakkuk 2. Habakkuk chapter 2. Let me see if I can share this on the screen here. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2. And it reads, and hopefully you can see that. I'll blow that up a little bit there. But Habakkuk chapter 2, and I'll just read it for you. And it says, write the vision and make it plain upon tablets, that he may run that readeth it. Another translation says, write the vision and engrave it plainly on clay tablets, so that the one who reads it will run. That's Habakkuk chapter 2. Write the vision. Romans 4:17. You can pull this up, but Romans chapter 4, verse 17. And it says this. Here we go. In Romans 4:17, it says, God, who gives life to the dead, calls into being that which does not exist. In another translation, it says, in the presence of him who believed even in God, who quickeneth the dead and calls those things which are not as though they were. That's Romans chapter 4, verse 17. And then Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7. And it simply says this: For as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. For as a man thinketh within himself, so is he. For as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So we got three scriptures here. Habakkuk chapter 2, write the vision, make it plain, so that those that read it can run with it. Romans chapter 4, verse 17 says, God, even God, he calls those things that be not as though they were. And then Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7 says, for as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Now I want to give you these three things to think about so that you can have your best school year ever. What is it that you really want for this year? You know, every new year, people always talk about New Year's resolutions and this and this and that. I don't know, like how many resolutions have you really kept over the last few years? But here's a principle that I want you to really think about. God said in the word here in Habakkuk chapter 2, write the vision, make it plain so that those that see it on tablets can run with it. Here's the first thing I want to encourage you to do. I want you to take the time and write it. Write down what it is that you really want to get done and accomplish this year. Yeah, write it down, like pull out a piece of paper and just write all the things that you want to have accomplished. Maybe that is to get better grades. Maybe that is to be specifically on the honor roll. Maybe that's specifically to start a new business. Or maybe it is to start a side job to complement your full-time job. Maybe you want to lose an extra 5 pounds, 10 pounds. Whatever it is for you, I want you to write it down. It says, write the vision on tablets, right? On paper, on your notes app, on Google Docs. Text it to yourself. Write, like, what's the thing that you see for yourself that will make this year the best year you've ever had? You know, if you fast forward and look 12 months from today, 365 days from today, and if this thing manifests, you will have an amazing, amazing year. What's that thing for you? Just like Habakkuk chapter 2 said, write it down. I want you to write that thing down. Yeah, I don't care what it is. Begin to write it down. So that's the first thing there. Then I love how Habakkuk chapter 2 said, write the vision. And then Proverbs chapter 23 says this: for as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. The American Standard Version says, for as he thinketh within himself, so is he. Here's the second thing I want you to do. The thing that you wrote down, I want you to imagine it. You know, sometimes we take for granted the things that we can dream up. Like the imagination is so powerful. And I just realized, like, all the things that I currently have in my life, I imagined it at one time. For as he thinks in his heart, so is he. Now, this isn't talking about the physical heart, but this is talking about the soul of a man. Like the soul of a man consists of his chooser, his thinker, and his feeler. But in this part of the soul, our thinker, we think with our mind. But believe it or not, we actually think with our imagination. Now I want you to imagine this. Imagine yourself walking across a graduation stage and you're on the honor roll. Imagine yourself having this gold tassel on that represents you being on the honor roll. Imagine yourself at your graduation and you turn your tassel. And when you turn your tassel, You look up into the audience, you see your family, you wave, and they're shouting at you. See yourself completely free from any college debt. Or let's go on a trip. Let's imagine we go on a trip right now, right? We take a first class plane ride to a beach. The beach has white sand. On that beach, there's a gray horse and the water is blue. And we're sipping on red Kool-Aid. Look, guess what? In your mind, you were able to go there in your mind simply by imagining it. Now think about all the things that you imagine, that you daydream about, the things that you see in your mind. Guess what? I want you to take the time to begin to imagine all the things that you want to happen this day, this week, this month, this year. Like, what will it take? What does it look like in your mind for you to have an amazing school year? What does it look like in your mind to have all of your needs met? What does it look like in your mind to have that promotion on your job? What does it look like in your mind to have all your bills paid 3 months in advance? What does it look like to sit down to study and you find yourself retaining information and you play your A game? I want you to imagine that. So number one, to have your best school year ever, I want you to take the time to write it down. Write it down. Make it plain so that those that see it can run with it. And then I want you to take what you just wrote down and I want you to spend some time every single day going there in your mind. The good book says, for as a man thinketh in his heart, as a man thinketh in his mind, as a man thinketh in his imagination, so is he. And then lastly, I want you to take the time to say it. I want you to take the time to say it. I love here in this scripture in Romans where it said, even God, he calls those things that be not as though they were. You know, if you look back in the book of Genesis, and in the book of Genesis, it talked about the beginning of time, and it talks about how God used this word to call in the light and to call in the animals and to call in the water. He used these words to begin to say things that were not there, and the things that he said, he began to see. He said them and he saw them. What can you say every single day that you don't currently see that you want to see? Like, what are you talking about? You know, it also says that our words have power, right? Our words can speak life or they can speak death. Your words can speak success. Your words can speak failure. Your words can speak health and healing. Your word can speak sickness and disease. Your word can speak A's and grades, and yeah. But you can also speak that you're tired. I'm going to fail this test. I don't feel like doing this. And guess what? Your body, your entire being will follow your words. So I want you to take some quality time to say what it is that you want for this school year. What is it that you want for your household, for your classroom? What is it that you want for your family? What is it that you want for your body? Take the time to begin to say that. If God used the principle of calling those things that are not present as though they were, guess what? You're made in his image. Guess what? You can now say it. So those are three things that I want to encourage you to make this an awesome, awesome year. I know people talk about goals and people talk about New Year's resolutions, but I really want you to take some time to write it down. What's the vision for your year? What are the things that maybe you haven't told anybody, but you really want these things to happen? Maybe you want your house paid off. Maybe you want to knock out any student loan debt. Go ahead and write that thing down. After writing that thing down, I want you to take some time in your mind to imagine it. Yeah, close your eyes. Open your eyes. Ponder that thing. Like, go there in your mind. Imagine it. Like, bro, like if you think about all the trips you can take in your mind, you can sit right here in your chair and you can go all over the world because of your imagination. I want you to imagine it. And lastly, I want you to put that thing on your mind. I want you to begin to say it. Put it on your voice. Say it. Call those things that be not. If you're having challenges focusing and having challenges with getting grades, hey, say it out your mouth. Now, here's the beauty of writing it, imagining it, and saying it. It's going to lead you to action. Yeah, you just can't write it and imagine and say it and not do anything. So if you're going to have and make this your best school year ever, once you write it, once you imagine it, once you say it, I want you to put in the actions necessary so that can manifest. You just can't say, hey, I'm going to be an A student and you don't spend any time studying. You can't say, hey, I'm going to graduate debt free and you don't spend any time looking for scholarships and money. You can't say, hey, I'm going to knock out some debt if you don't spend any time knowing where the bill is and how much you owe and grabbing some money and paying towards it. Write it, imagine it, say it, and lastly, do it. If you do those three things, the first three things, your actions, your body, and your being will line up with that. Not only that, but all of heaven, all of the universe, all of the earth will be working for you. For as a man thinketh, so is he. Write the vision. Make it plain so that those that see it can run with it. And lastly, call those things that be not as though they were. Listen, I believe you will have your best school year ever. Like, I want you to begin to say that. This will be my best school year ever. Regardless of what it looks like, regardless of what it feels like, say, this will be my best school year ever. And I would love to be able to support you with that. If you want access to my best-selling academic success book, hey, simply go to playyouragamebook.com or click one of the links down below. If you want access to my best-selling college funding book, Scholarship Secrets Revealed, hey, just click that down below to get access to that book, scholarshipsecretsbook.com or playyouragamebook.com. Listen, I'm Kantis Simmons. I'm the coolest guy with 7.25 fingers. And remember this will be your best school year ever. Hey, I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.